I'm always a fan of the non-traditional howdy dirty dirty. I really liked, this is gonna sound, I really liked when we were like making a porno. Like we all panicked and we were like...
For those who maybe aren't caught up with some of the campaigns, this was in the story. It was a deceptive, they were acting this out to, not
words,
helping.
with words.
Yes, that time it was in the story.
Give it up for Marsha Ray! Travis Willingham! Taliesin Jaffe! Ashley Johnson! Sam Riegel! Leo Ryan! Laura Bailey! And Matthew Mercer! One more time, the Critical Role cast!
What's up, Chicago? Hell yeah! I'm actually going to be your moderator for today. Yeah, no, if I had thought about it more than 5 minutes ago, I would have guilted one of the Baldur's Gate kids into doing this, but you're stuck with me. I'm imagining everyone who is a Baldur's Gate fan and not also a Critical Role fan is like running to Jennifer English's table right now. They're like, there's no Jester cosplayers, go! Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of questions first. Some of these that we sourced from the Beacon Discord. So get in on Beacon.
Can we real quick, though, get all the cosplayers on their feet, especially those 3 dancing grogs?
Yeah, where are the grogs? Yes!
We saw you.
Yes!
You were amazing.
Yes!
Hell yeah!
Nice.
Mad props.
Yes.
Mad props.
That was great. You're a little club kid, aren't you? I see you. Yeah.
I've had that dream.
Yeah. Also, before we get started, we wanted to do a few kind of little quick general announcements, just reminders of some cool shit that we've got coming down the pipeline. On May 20th is the official launch of Daggerheart.
Daggerheart, y'all! Woo!
Or right now, if you live in some places.
Yeah, or if you're lucky in Australia. Don't tell anybody. And then after that, we're going to be doing a little mini-series run of Daggerheart featuring one of the campaign frames that Matt Mercer wrote, which is the Age of Umbra.
I made a thing. We're going to play it. It's going to be very dark.
Are we gonna die?
Probably.
We keep threatening really deadly campaigns. Maybe this one's it.
There's no resurrection.
Why am I playing a cleric? Damn it.
But yeah, you can catch Age of Umbra premiering on May 29th. So, you know, remember that date that's 7 weeks from now. Put it in your calendar. Okay. We should get started, right?
Yeah, where are these questions from, Marisha?
So a lot of these are from our Beacon Discord. So
Got any beacon bits in the house?
has anyone been watching Wild Mount Wildlings, by the way?
Wild out.
If you're not a Beacon member, it is officially the best way to support Critical Role. You get content early, you get bonus content, you get to chat with amazing critters. Yeah, so check it out. First and foremost,
Also, I think Sam posts his feet on Beacon. It's just like Sam
What?
Wiki feet is found on Beacon.
Yeah, I'm slowly working up the body.
Yeah.
So if we hit a certain subscriber count, you'll see some nip. I don't know if that's a threat or a reward.
Feels like a threat.
There's no TOS on Beacon. This is our first time back at C2E2 in 5 years. The last time we were here was March of 2020, and nothing significant happened after that. So sincerely, we are so glad to be back here at Chicago. You guys have been amazing, and man, this is our last day. So,
What if every time we showed up here, we caused a global pandemic?
What if we said about saying things out loud?
yeah, how does it feel, everybody? This is our first question for everybody. How does it feel to be back in the Windy City? I mean,
I was just saying when we got up here, I think it wasn't 2020, maybe the time before that, or maybe it was. There was a long runway here, and we did that fashion walk-off and everything.
Oh, that's right. I was so pregnant.
You were. Yeah, that's right. So maybe 2018 or something like that. Chicago's the best. It's gorgeous here. It's not cold. There's no wind.
sunny
There's
every day.
Gino's.
Yeah.
I just wish there was more pizza.
Gino.
Yeah, we're all
Sunny and
carrying
72.
about 12 pounds of your pizza in our guts right now.
Yeah. So
We
good.
went and got pizza again last night, and Sam was like, I've had it every night this week. Okay, let's get to some of our Discord questions. This is another one for the cast. What are some of your most memorable how do you want to do this moments across the 3 campaigns? Follow up, was there a kill that you were most envy of?
I'll go first since I'm not even a player. But I've accidentally killed my own things and had to give myself a how do you want to do this a couple times now. And there's nothing more embarrassing for a DM. Because at that point, it's... I'm not even going to make the analogy. It feels too self-appreciative in the moment.
Self-appreciative is a very nice way of saying it.
Yeah, I think so.
Stonefell, actually, just because that kicked off a whole tangent in Percy's reality. So, because I did not know what was going to happen, and yeah, that was a lot heavier than I was expecting. So that was a good time. You know, Whitestone, that was great. It was
Fun little romp.
Yeah.
I'll never forget how I forgot that Vokodo had a reflective exterior late at night in Campaign 2 and could have annihilated half the party if it hit the right one, but pulled off a natural 20 and ended it there. Could have gone a very different way.
I think somewhere in between the Kevdak, how do you want to do this? Or the Grog live show, how do you want to do this? Those are pretty special, and I don't think I will ever forget those.
Yeah, it's hard to top any how do you want to do this from a live show. I got the how do you want to do this at Wembley against Trent, and I went out the next day and immortalized it with this tattoo on my arm. So it's hard to top that.
Lorenzo was a live show too, right?
Lorenzo was a live show, yeah.
Killed with a cantrip, I think.
Indianapolis.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just a little, like he deserves.
Fizzle out. I think mine was the meteor swarm from the Ring of Remembrance.
Yeah, that was pretty down to the wire too.
Yeah, yeah. I was how many points? 2 or 4 points away from death. At
Yeah.
that point? Yeah. 2, 4. I don't know, you
Somewhere there,
guys.
numbers.
That's my answer to the follow-up question. That was such an excellent, and that like it converted all the energy, so it was max damage, all 9s.
Yeah, to thunder damage.
Yep.
Yeah,
was
I
so
was
good.
very impressed.
What other one of you carry deep seeds of envy for your fellow players?
I envy Laura's ability to give a witch a cupcake with the dust of deliciousness. That was a deep CIA true G move.
Yeah, that move killed Matt.
That was more of a, I guess we're going to do this.
And then afterwards, watching him move the entire map because there was a huge hag.
Oh, I had a whole, there was a whole boss battle that was possibly going to happen with that, where, you found the two other members of her coven that she keeps, tethered and draws power from. It's a whole thing. It never got to reveal. It's fun.
Damn it! That's happened a couple
Not so
times.
cool now, is it?
We got exiled from Darktoe in one day. We showed up, we got in some shit, we got kicked out. Island full of pirates, couldn't look at anything.
I'm always a fan of the non-traditional howdy dirty dirty. I really liked, this is gonna sound, I really liked when we were making a porno. We all panicked and we were
For those who maybe aren't caught up with some of the campaigns, this was in the
Sorry,
story. It was a
wasn't-
deceptive. They were acting this out to. I was not helping.
With words.
Yes, that time it was in the story.
But Ashley, we failed at that. We did not succeed.
But honestly, sometimes I like the failures.
Oh, for sure.
Because we all have to work together and figure out how to find a way out.
It was chaos getting out of that. It was real bad. Yeah.
I like it any time we instantly kill what was going to be a very helpful NPC before they even have a chance to speak.
Liam O'Brien.
Of just straight. Oh, that's just straight up. Just watching Matt go.
I'm just a time saver, you guys.
Or conversely, whenever I have a really nasty enemy on the battlefield that I get this grandiose entrance to, and you just polymorph them into a turtle and spin them for an hour.
That felt good. That also felt good.
Yep.
Anytime I have polymorph in my arsenal, I'm like, I can't do it again. That's just rude.
But it's funny.
This next question is actually a good follow-up, which is there a side quest or character hook that you would have loved to explore more if we had had the time? I mean, so many.
Yeah.
Darktoe.
We can come back now.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, it's a friendly city again.
We know a Plank King. Okay.
God, I wanted the Shattered Teeth. I will never get over the Shattered Teeth. I want to spend a whole campaign there.
I mean, the moon. We were in such a hurry on Ruidus that we didn't really get to. I don't know. We were just always on the move. I wanted to just hang out and make a little village there and start a farm. Sounds fun. Just do Stardew Valley. Moondew Valley.
It's still there. It's waiting for us.
I was about to say, we can do
Ruidus
a
hanging.
2026
Ruidus
8-part
hanging.
cozy Ruidus farming sim miniseries.
Yes, please.
Is this our cozy game? Are we deving out our cozy game pitch right now?
Yeah. That would be a
so
great
fun.
8-part miniseries, just us farming.
And little my seed would help you. Oh my God.
Maybe.
Doing that, yeah.
I think the way that Caleb destroyed the T-Dock at the end of a story, it was exactly right, and I'm very happy with that conclusion, but I will always wonder about the time-traveling Ocean's 11 trip that we would all take. And all through campaign, I was picking spells that were to help us infiltrate that place and get people out and leave a decoy. The whole campaign, I was choosing spells based on that. Doesn't mean it was a pitch perfect close, I think, but of course you always wonder about what would have happened. All gone wrong.
I think a really fun, series would be to do a dungeon run through the Happy Fun Ball. Just fight to the death.
When we were exploring Aor, there were these question marks on the map that we never got to.
Yes.
And those question marks are my Roman Empire. I think about them all the time. It's crazy. What's there?
I want to get into Ashton's beacon brain really bad. Like that's just been sitting there as the beacon brain. So
It only got weirder with the end of C3. So.
right, yeah.
I would, yeah. Aor has always been in my mind too. That was one of my favorite parts of the campaign.
Especially after Downfall.
Yes.
Downfall made me want to go
Made
back.
me want to go back even more.
Oh.
I also still, and I feel like I've said this before, I want to know what was in that box. The remains that we had to take to that tree. This was campaign one.
That tree.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, where the guy was like, "These are the remains of my loved one," and I was like, "No, it's not."
The Berthart and Vasselheim?
Yes.
How guilty are you going to be when you open that up and that's all it is?
I wouldn't feel guilty at all. I'd feel
Okay.
better. This has plagued me.
Do you want me to tell you, Ashley?
Yes, yes.
Good to know.
Wow.
Perfect. It's too much power.
It's nothing but pogs.
Then at least I would know.
Not a single slammer, just the other kind of pog.
Yeah.
Can't even play them. God.
Friends, family. We've made
Lovers.
some weird characters. Lovers. We've made some weird characters. Especially as time goes on. Do we feel drawn to weirder and weirder character concepts, or do we find ourselves coming back to the classic archetypes? I feel like it's starting to come full circle.
Yeah.
I have not even seen my full weird yet. It's going to get so much worse.
I think you're right, Marsha. I think it's like a clover. Like we start normal-ish and then go out and then rein it back in, and then go out and rein it back in, and go out and.
You are describing every flower that exists right now.
No, it's just a clover.
Just a clover. Okay.
There's only 3.
That was a super cool analogy, Sam.
Yeah, no.
Thanks, Ashley. She likes me.
He told me earlier, he's like, "Hey, are you going to the island of Dr. Moreau after this?" Because of my linen suit. I thought it was funny.
It was. They don't know what that is, though.
Too young.
Fix that.
Yeah,
Busy
I feel
watching
like,
our show. Do they have time for movies? Do any of you? We make a lot of content. Good God.
I think we've run the gamut of making like hot, sexy, super cool to look at, powerful characters, and then also made crazy, wacky, upside down, doesn't make any sense 400-year-old gnome werewolves. So we've sort of stretched both ways, and only time will tell what comes next.
I do feel like after Bell's Hells, we were all like, guys, we got to rein it in. This is getting weird.
No.
I always
Meat
feel like
tongue.
it's opposite whatever the last one was that you played. Where it was like whatever the last character was. It's like, I want to do something a little different than that. It just depends.
But then we got Daggerheart coming up, and
Yeah.
you can be a frog and a mushroom. It's designed to get weird.
Fungal King.
Umbra's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, everyone's made their characters for that. We've been getting all that situated, and I'm excited.
I know I can't say anything about it. It's driving me nuts.
I feel like we should reveal one detail about our characters for Umbra, but like so
Fine with me.
obscure.
Yeah. I'll say this. Why don't we... I was a lifeguard growing up. Slowly, you walk, don't run, to start lining up to the microphones for Q&A. And while you all do that, we'll give you spoilers.
Where are the microphones?
They are going to be in these 2 aisles. They're bringing them out right now. And then you will see some of our lovely event coordinators, Brittany Wallach and Chris Jansen over here. Woo!
Also,
We would not be here without these two, so give them all of your love. Yeah. They keep us organized and on time and sane.
shout out to our ASL interpreters over here as well.
Well, Sam, this was your suggestion, so why don't you go first?
I'll just say that my character has one body part that is asymmetrical.
That's your spoiler?
Yeah, like they should have two of something, but they only have one.
Testicle.
Or maybe
Okay.
three. That's it. That's all they get.
My character has piercings.
Oh!
That's a big step for me.
My character.
Have you ever had any piercings in real life, Travis?
No!
You never had an eyebrow ring?
This boring body? No, no piercing.
None that we can see.
The perineum.
Oh.
So much maintenance.
I can say this will be the first character since Honey Heist that I've created who wears a hat. Oh yeah.
I'll say one word. Edging.
Is your guy? I want you to act your guy just like always like. Just the whole campaign.
Spoilers.
Are there any children in the audience?
Not anymore.
Not with that
Sorry, I'm
attitude.
real
Just in
sorry.
the front row.
What's up, Flint? Yes.
That's our cue.
This kid's so excited. You can tell he's like, I'm being bad.
My character is short.
Cool.
My character is tall.
Oh.
Well, that was great. Look at us.
We didn't hear Ashley.
Wait, Ashley didn't go. She was
My character, I'm going to give you two.
Oh.
Okay? Shockingly, my character is also tall. And also wearing a veil. I feel like my spoiler was kind of the best.
I've seen your art. It's so dope.
Yeah.
It's so
It's
sick.
really cool.
Yeah. The art for this is
excited.
amazing. Yeah.
For those who don't know Age of Umbra and kind of what the theme is, it's the campaign frame that I created for Daggerheart, which are more or less like small settings that you can play your game in. And this one is heavily inspired by the Soulsborne series of games, inspired by Berserk, inspired by Kingdom Death Monster. It's meant to be a very dark, grim, survivalist fantasy. So take all that information and plug that in. It's gonna get weird.
We're going to open up a bakery.
All right. Let's get to some audience Q&A. Which side should we start with? Yeah, you're standing up. Let's do it. Hello, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Caleb, and I came out as trans at this panel 5 years ago. And it is an honor to be back. And in that 5 years, I have met a very large community of critters who have also either come out as trans or some shade of queer because of this show. And I just wanted to say thank you for that. But my question is related to that. And all of you play characters of all sorts of identities, genders, sexual identities. And I just wanted to talk about what it's like to play a character that's different than your own.
That's a great question.
A character that's different from us as people. Is that was the end of the question?
Yes. Different than our own identities.
First of all, great to see you again. And it's so important these days to, especially these days, without getting too political, to be so inclusive and diverse and open. And we love everyone in this audience and beyond. And You guys are the best, and it's so great to have folks like you. I really love playing role-playing games in general just because it really gives you a chance to explore someone who is not like you, and live in their skin and walk in their shoes. And it really, I feel like it makes you a better person, a better human being to try out other ways of life like that in an imagination place. And it's been so rewarding, and it's really opened my eyes to a whole bunch of folks that I would never have had the opportunity to experience their way of life. So, I hope to keep doing it, and it's the best.
I think that's one of the most beautiful things that RPGs teach us outside of teamwork and all of that stuff that we normally hear. It's empathy.
Mm-hmm. I'll also say, growing up playing tabletop games like this, I definitely know a lot of people I went to school with who used it as a, beyond even empathy, as kind of a very quiet litmus test for their friends to be like, how bad would this be if I started to have some personal questions out loud? And it was a really good way of figuring out quietly who you can trust and who you can't without giving the game away, so to speak. So.
Yeah, it's a great way to explore different facets of yourself in a very safe way and kind of do those trial runs and try it on a little bit. And I'd say too, when we set off with these new characters, I'm really just kind of following the characters' hearts. It's not necessarily always going in with a strong intent to be one way or the other. You kind of feel it out and just feel the vibe, which I feel like is how it works in real life.
Really, the rules and the walls and the limitations are a construct. And what I love about our time together at the table is it takes all that away, and we all contain multitudes, and there really is no reason to draw those hard lines. Why? The simplest thing is just to, we're all human. We all love each other. We all have
Except for the cats. The cats in the audience are different, but.
Thank you so much, Caleb. Good to see you again. Mm-hmm. Let's jump over here to this side.
Hi, I would have stood, but kind of hard. It's not a question so much as it's a statement for the whole cast. This nonsense started back a little bit before 2020. And I was in a really bad depressive spiral, and I wanted to say thank you for waking me up and reminding me that there is a place where I can be a 3-foot halfling that is a paladin, or my 8-foot tall furbolg sheep monk who kicks ass and curb stomps enemies. And so a huge thank you to you guys, because you mean the world to me.
What was your name?
It's Shannon.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Thanks, Shannon.
Shannon.
You.
Love you. Glad you're here.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Ellen.
Hello.
So there's a lot of actual plays shows out in the world now, and some of you have been on those. You've had a bunch of guest stars from other shows come on Critical Role. What is the chance that we might get a Into the Spider-Verse style crossover of it at some point?
That's interesting.
This is a question and a suggestion.
Like if you get your fantasy high into our Bell's Hells kind of a thing?
It kind of felt like a question and a suggestion at that point.
It's a very fun idea. Does anyone have Brennan Lee Mulligan's phone number?
Don't you?
Maybe we should call him.
Thank you.
That's a fun idea. Thank you. Are you a firefighter?
I'm from Ryan Murphy's hit show 911.
Incredible.
Great answer.
Hello, I'm also Caleb. So,
Hey, Caleb.
my question is aimed towards Taliesin. Anyone can answer if they choose to jump into this. Something I struggle with a lot when playing D&D is character bleed, and especially since CR gets really heavy, I wanted to know if there's any tips for dealing with that.
I'll take suggestions from the audience. Therapy. I'm not even kidding. Honestly, I think it's actually more just of an acting skill as you just get used to decompressing. It's one of the things they teach is compartmentalization on a certain level.
Yeah, aftercare.
Aftercare, yeah.
Especially for heavy sessions is important. Meaning if you have a very emotional session with everyone at the table, make sure that when the session's done, you all take time together to be like, okay, that was very heavy, or this was very emotional, or there's a little bit of bleed going on here. Let's all watch a TV show together and talk about it. You know, taking moments to kind of unplug and just settle in and acknowledge amongst all of you that, okay, that was wild. It's also still a game, and take the parts of it that are important and the parts that, you know, could be a little challenging. Let's leave that back with the session and then go on until the next time we play. So aftercare is very important in that regard.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Grace, and I'm a D&D player with ADHD, and I know I'm not the only one. And my DM regularly makes sessions that are 4 to 5 hours long, and it's really tough to lock in for that long. I was wondering, as professionals, if you had any strategies or anything that you guys use to lock in for that long?
Travis?
How long we got? You guys, I am flying the Starship Enterprise in my chair every session. I have no less than 15 little, like, fidget devices. Laura can't sit anywhere near me because my legs are just pumping. Like, I could fuel the lights in our studio no problem over 6 hours. These legs never stop moving. Gum, I snack all the time. And I'm usually moving in some capacity, because if I sit still, I'll either fall asleep or just completely miss what was being said. And so all those things are just great ways to stay engaged. And I also find that if I think about myself too much, like what my characters are going to do, I'm not really actively listening in the way that I should. And so I'm always locked into like whoever is talking. And I guess that's why I also geek out so much when they do really awesome or stupid things. It's my favorite thing. Yeah.
Also, I mean, before we were filming, you know, we were doing like 12-hour games at home. And, you know, nobody could lock in for that long. It was, you know, you would take a moment to stand up and kind of wander around while things were happening. You'd go to the kitchen, get a snack, come back. You know, you
Or
don't
go
have to be...
a slap fight.
Have a slap fight in the backyard.
What?
Didn't we have a slap fight once?
Yes.
We went to the kitchen.
Yeah.
Once?
These two went to town.
We have it on video.
I love you.
I love you.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
No worries. Nice to meet you.
Thank you,
too.
Grace. Hello.
You look amazing.
Thank you so much. I've wanted you to see this outfit for forever. But anyway, hi, my name is Zara.
Hey, Zara.
Hi again. My question is primarily for Ashley and Tal. You have both played clerics and you've played their deities as well. What would Pike and Cad think about what you two did? Affectionate.
Affectionate.
Oops.
Ooh.
Boy, how have I not thought about? I think I've blocked that question out.
And now that you're faced with the Taliesin,
Shit. I think Caduceus would have I'm not going to say an easy time, but eventually get to that death of the author point, if that makes sense. Of like, well, you know, I'm really here for a larger ecosystem, despite my disappointment. So I guess it's not about her. Oh, it would be a while to take care of that. And thankfully, like, Caduceus has a few other gods in that ecosystem that he feels connected to. You know, there's a There's a few that are cross over that story, but oh yeah, that would take a little while. That would not be great.
I feel like Pike would be pissed. Because it was funny, I was kind of wrestling with this at the live show when we had the moment with Vox Machina and we were all like sitting around talking, and I'm like, wait a minute. The Everlight, what am I supposed to do? It was just, yeah, I feel like there's a lot of reconciling and reckoning that's going to be happening.
I love Downfall so much.
Say again?
I love Downfall so much.
Oh yeah,
It was just,
yeah.
oof.
Yeah, if anyone hasn't checked them out, there's kind of like a 3-chapter kind of mini runs that the aforementioned Brendan Lee Mulligan ran, first starting with Calamity, and then in the middle of Campaign 3 was Downfall, and then the most recent one was Divergence. They kind of jump in time. They're very fun. They will make you cry. Highly recommended.
And standalone, you can just watch them. You don't need to know where we are. You can just go for them.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ow.
Hello.
Goodness.
You look fabulous.
Thank you so much.
Oh my God, that.
Okay. So as the local Cassandra stan, I have to ask, if she wasn't saved by Vox Machina and Percy, obviously they were planning on sacrificing her whole thing. If she didn't die, who would you have turned into?
Who, me? Oh, I don't know. I think I probably would have hit Old Man Percy way faster, just monstrously paranoid. And yeah, Old Man Batman, like, you know, Dark Knight Returns Batman would have happened way faster.
I could see Cassandra likely coming, I mean, you know, Delilah being under the purview of the Whispered One, and the control of undeath and the space beyond Cassandra would have been a very powerful undead minion, likely under the Briarwood's purview, and an ever dark symbol of the Derolo's final fall from their perspective. So that would have been very bad.
That's exactly what I wanted. Thank you.
Good, we eat well tonight.
I like the evil wizards.
Hello, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Benj. I'm super excited for Daggerheart. I have a 10-year-old who's kind of starting to get that bug of role-playing games, and I desperately want to play like a nice long campaign with him and see how that goes. My question is for Liam. You, with Caleb and with Orem, you did so much, like every action, every spell, everything you did was so well thought out and so grand in what it was. Like, how much preparation did you take? Like, were you workshopping this with the kids in the living room? Like, okay, you stand here, I'm gonna have the sword, you know, like, you know, how much preparation went into a lot of those moves?
You mean like the narration at
when you would do like, you know, bait and switch, or, you know, all of your the Battle Master stuff.
I mean, for the Dirt Wizard, some of that was pulled out of my butt, like in the 2 minutes leading up to it happening. But some things like the tower, I thought more, I mean, not even just the design of it, but the things I did to summon the tower, I put a little bit of thought into. With Orem, I remember at the beginning, before Campaign 3, I just started watching sword fighting movies for inspiration. I watched like Gladiator and Troy and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and played a little Soul Calibur. But, you know, Matt really encouraged us in the lead up to Campaign 2 to like get into it. He encouraged us to have more flair, and I don't even know if it really would have occurred to me on my own, but I felt like I was already starting to DM for my kids, and that little nudge just was like, oh, right, we're co-telling a story, so why not? You know, as long as you're not hogging all the time at the table. I try to keep things compact on my moves too. Like, I think up the things that I want to do and the visuals that I'm imagining, and then I deliver it, and then I want to sit back and watch my friends do their magic. But it really is just giving yourself the permission to take up that space at the table.
Cool. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hello. Oh my goodness.
Hi, I'm Sky. So we've lost a lot of loved ones, be it player characters or NPCs. If your characters could say anything, like one last thing to somebody they've lost, what would they say?
You owe me money.
feel like Bo to Molly Mock would be, you still get on my fucking nerves.
I know.
I feel like this is a little intense, but I feel like at least Yasha with Molly, I think a conversation that they didn't get to have, and I think she would say is, "Thank you for saving me."
Sorry.
I'm gonna turn this around on you because that's a mean question. It is a thing I keep in my head, and it is so morose, and I'm so sorry to say it out loud. And I'm putting it in all of yours because that was cruel, and that face is freaking me out. Every conversation, there will inevitably be a last conversation with someone, and you will most likely not know what it is. So I just try and keep that in the back of my mind, that at some point you're going to be, really? That's the last thing I fucking said? Oh my God, it's so dumb. So yeah, I try and just take that moment at the end of every conversation, and I'm bad at it, as we all are, but of like, okay, hopefully that won't be it. So that would be, where's my shoes, you mother? Yeah, so, oh no. So yeah, that's always the thing, is you have to pick the last one.
Thanks, Taliesin.
You're welcome. Bring it down.
We're all dying. Have a great day, everybody.
So sorry.
Good question. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Hannah, and apologies to everyone who goes after me because I'm putting the mic down really low. So nervous to be up here, but my question's for Liam because I'm a hopeless romantic, and this question has kept me up at night, so now it'll keep you up at night. Would Shadowgast happen if Caleb went back in time? They're so circumstantial with all the healing that needed to happen for them to get together. Do you think they're destined, or is that just the right person, right time?
I doubt it would have happened, because to go back in time, Caleb would have had to have not let love and patience and redemption into his heart. He would have been on track to murdering Trent and taking his place, and or I don't know that specifically, but he would have been, still broken inside, and he wouldn't have allowed redemption for someone else, let alone himself, right? So no Shadowgast for you.
Thank you.
Good question.
Your purple hair is awesome. It's so pretty.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello, my name is DC. I play a lot of and GM a lot of online games set in Exandria. And so my players are running all around Tal'Dorei, Wildmount. And so this question is directed towards Matt. It's submitted by one of my players. When the Mighty Nine first arrived in Zadash, Matt, you described a light rail train system. Now, we're in Chicago, Metro, light rail is very big here. Do you have more information on what that looks like? Or if it's been retconned out, what do you imagine Exandria's train system would look like in the future?
Monorail, monorail, monorail.
Wait, there's a light rail system?
Yeah, there's a light rail?
Yeah, it's not massively utilized by the populace. It's more for the hoity-toity folk of the city.
Is Zadash Chicago?
It could be, if you want to make it. Yeah, I mean, we touched the closest thing in recent campaign, Drusar had the cable car. There are more advanced, Arcana-based transit in some places, but because they're usually difficult to build, difficult to maintain to a degree, and fuck capitalism, people end up taking over those methods of control and don't allow everyone to get used to it. It wasn't really an often viable thing for the Mighty Nine to make use of while you were present. But as far as going into more detail, that's an invitation to you, as they're all going to Zadash, to make it your own light rail version of the Zadash system there. And maybe take the reins from those who don't allow it to be utilized by the masses.
Thank you so much.
No worries.
Pirate rail cars. I am ready for pirate rail cars.
It's all assembly run right now, but for now, yar.
Hello.
Hey.
My name's Tiffany, and I actually have kind of a silly question for everyone. Which of your characters, EXU included, would not make it out of an escape room?
Does breaking everything count?
Dariax is still there. He's built a little campfire. He's eating the rodents that come through the door to stay alive. And he's like, I don't know where everyone went. Like, they solved the room. They all left.
And Grog is across the room from him and having a ball.
Well, Vax can pick any lock. Caleb can warp out. Orem sees literally everything. So I think it would be Buddy. He would just be stuck in a door jam.
Oh, Buddy.
So no one's getting out.
I feel like Fearne would have trouble. I don't feel like she'd understand the assignment. Wait, I don't understand why we're locked in here. And then why we have to get out.
Fearne's just ripping props off the wall, being like, I'll take this.
I'll take this soldier.
She's like screwing up every puzzle because she's taking key pieces out of the.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that was supposed to say there.
I think Tyrion Darrington would ask for a clue every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And then when he gets out in 10 minutes, he'd be like, I did it! I won!
This would be the worst escape room group ever. I think Jester, if she didn't have magic, would, like her paints, she'd be screwed. Yeah. Same vibe as Fearne, just playing with everything instead.
Looney Tunes doors out.
I'm going to throw it all the way back to the Darrington Brigade with Hazel Copperpot. Because I think Hazel Copperpot would just be trying to narrate the whole thing over top of everybody. Just not being helpful.
Stop it, I'm trying to think, Hazel, stop it.
Jester yells at me across the room. She seems very flustered.
We are trying to get out of this escapee room.
Time for some ambiance. Cue the music.
Yeah, I think Owlbear would also, he would just be hiding towards the very end and then take credit in the very, tuxedo mask, but you didn't do anything. It's just... Open the door.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Matt. Yeah.
Good strong name.
I'm sorry.
Hell yeah. We are Legion.
Yeah. Game designer, hopefully making tabletops eventually. Got my degree last year listening to the podcast version. Very good while you're writing papers.
That's awesome, man. Congrats, by the way.
Thanks. It was... my question is for Sam and by extension the rest of you guys.
Because I won't answer it properly?
Sure, let's go with that. From absinthe cocktails to writing a song to probably a fear of an electric bug zapper now, has there ever been an ad that you bring to production and they're like, this might be a little too far?
Sure, yeah.
Every week.
Yeah. Yeah, there are many that have been vetoed or just... Sometimes I'll present something and the producers just kind of ignore it. That idea didn't happen. We're just not going to acknowledge that one. And then a few days later, I'm like, well, they never replied, so I guess that's a no. I've wanted several times to do a thing where I take the camera through the halls of the studio or out into the parking lot. I really want to do something in our parking lot, but that gives away our location and stuff. There's safety concerns. I wanted to do an ad where we're driving in cars. And I pull up to someone. I have all kinds of ideas that are just very impractical.
You had the one when I was in the thick of Creator Clash, where it was me just beating the shit out of you in the ring while you just read the ad to the camera.
Yeah.
I still want to do that.
Yeah. I had an idea where squibs, gunshots would go off and I'd get shot and everyone was like, that's too morbid and horrible. And yeah. Yeah.
How do you guys live with this?
Sleeplessly.
But the ones I can count on are the ones where I get hurt or I have to eat something or they shave my head. That kind of stuff I can control because it's on me. So that's why you see me torture myself a lot.
And for the record, most of the time Sam is quickly writing these ad reads or finishing them up like hours before we record. So if you ever see us like reading it or being like, oh God, I got to do what? That tends to be genuine because it's the first time we're looking at the script.
That was going to be the follow-up, asking if you sometimes see it and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Why is this my job?
Every time.
I try not to look at them until they're happening at all.
We don't get the scripts usually until like we're sitting down at the table, and even then we're busy getting our stuff together, so we don't realize it until we're doing it, which is horrible.
By the way, can I just do a quick shout out to someone in the front row who gave me an idea for an ad that I actually used. She pitched me, what if the cat character was in heat?
Oh my God.
That was a great one.
I think at one of the conventions, and I was like, I'm doing that.
So often when he goes into it, our response is, no, Sam, no. But on Bug Zapper night, we're all hungry for it. We're like, get his ass.
That could have gone on forever.
Thank you so much.
That is exactly what I wanted. You guys have a good day.
You too, buddy.
Hi, my name's Elena. I wanted to say thank you for giving me the confidence to start my own homebrew campaign that I've been running. And I have a question, mostly for Matt, but it applies to everyone. How do you work with your players as a GM to build their characters and make them fit together in the story and like together and have those relationships?
I think for me, that's where the session zero becomes so important. You can build as much as you want independently, but having a pre-campaign session zero where all the players get to sit around together and either make their characters together or at least present what they've built so far, talk about it out loud, and then start to decide where those connections come from. It's such a fun part of the game. It's a big part of what we built Daggerheart around, was, putting it into the mechanical character building element of it if you want to use it. But like the concept of everyone bringing their ideas to the table and someone saying, I'm thinking this kind of a character, and somebody else going, oh man, what if we used to date, but we haven't talked in 5 years and it ended poorly. And you're like, oh, that's already spicy and you haven't even started playing. And now you've built this whole dynamic between two characters, and everyone else in the group's like, oh, this is a little awkward. That's fun. But that all just comes from you all having a pre-session conversation about that. And you could all decide to be strangers and discover it all in the moment, which is fun. Or you can decide on having these pre-existing relationships either to each other or to the world as well. Someone else at the table might hear, Marisha's idea, and, Travis might go like, oh, it'd be cool if you actually were born in this area and, you had this event that happened in the past affected your family, and you carry the scars of this historical, calamity sort of vibe. So we can also bounce off each other and give each other ideas and kind of figure out what works best for what we're excited to play. So definitely give yourself a moment as a group to have those conversations before you roll the first dice for that first session.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I think as time has gone on too, we've realized the importance of coming in with somebody, having a relationship with somebody already at the table. I think that helps a lot, especially if you have any newbie players that are joining your table who are unsure, kind of anchoring their character to someone else who might be a little bit more experienced. I think kind of helps give them some confidence, gives them something to riff off of and banter off of, and kind of having an anchor in a way. Hello.
Hey guys, I'm
Hi.
Micah. My question is for Matt. I am a lore nerd. I'm the lore keeper for my current campaign.
Oh, cool.
So in Calamity at the end, we saw Apacia send the ball of information to Saret's kids. My question is that the beginning of the Cobalt Soul?
You should watch Divergence.
The answer to your question
Is
in Divergence.
Yeah.
A short snippet, but nevertheless an exciting one to convey. Yeah, there is an intentionality of where Apacia's orb goes in the world, and part of what impact it might have had is definitely revealed towards the end of Divergence. So keep your eyes and ears out in the open as you watch it.
Thanks, guys.
Hell yeah, no worries.
Hi, my name is Parker. I was Caduceus yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
My question, feel free to make your case to anybody, but it's mostly for Matt. If you were a driving instructor in Exandria, which player character out of any campaign is most likely to pass their driver's test, and which player character is most likely to fail their driver's test?
Oh, no. Oh. Most likely to fail.
So many.
So many. I'd have to say Fearne Calloway.
Yes.
She is the least
so
focused,
much.
most impulsive, most easily distracted, and just really, why did you sign up for the test? Like, everyone else would come up with a reason. Fearne, I'd be like, why are you here?
So my mom, quick side note, reminds me of Fearne when she drives. Because she does this thing when she's on a highway. She doesn't signal when she changes lanes. She just sort of drifts over and she waits for a honk. And if nobody honks, she keeps going. But if somebody honks, she'll come back over. That feels like Fearne.
That's very Fearne. Oh shit, sorry.
Sam!
She's never had an accident.
Good method. That's a good
One way
method.
to do it. That's so much trust in everyone else.
It'll work out.
She's probably left a string of crashed Mario Karts behind her, though.
As far as the most successful, the highest marks, oh man.
I don't know if it's the answer, but I really like imagining Percival with like driving gloves and goggles and an ascot scarf and like a Jaguar.
But Percival also has that underlying like vengeful rage where I feel like if somebody really cut him off, like he'd be the person that follows them home.
There's a part of me in that, let me tell you.
He has a list of people who have cut him off.
Oh, I had a tap and run not that long ago, and I chased that for like probably 2 miles going, you are not getting away. Yeah.
Here's what I'd say. I'd probably put it neck and neck with Orm and Vexalia.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like Vax and Bo would be pretty close, but like balancing dexterity and perception.
I feel like Bo, no. She would be so pissed. She'd
probably follow in the same category.
Yeah, she would be such a... I think Caleb would do great.
Well, I think Caleb would be very aware of things, but I think like once the horn started going and people started driving poorly, he'd be like, no, I'm going to stop here and wait for traffic to go away.
It's true.
Oh my God, that's so true.
Caleb is absolutely a slow turner.
Okay, the light will be turning green in 17, 16, 15. Bo would be a road rage driver.
Why do they hand out driver's license to people? They all suck.
I think Knot would have to blow into one of those breathalyzer things to turn on the car.
Ashton already has his license. They do great. They're fine. I don't know what's wrong with you people.
That's awesome. Great question.
Thank you so much.
I think we have time for one more lightning round question very quickly.
Hi guys, my name is Sarah, and I have a little scenario for you guys. Imagine that the Vox Machina game finds themselves in Chicago, and they decide to have a night on the town. However, throughout the course of the night, each one of them ends up arrested. So my question is, what did your character do? What shenanigans did they get up to that would get them in jail?
Percy attempted to steal a light rail car.
Grog went to the Japanese wrestling match and tried to join the match.
Keyleth went to the field and went, I could transform into Sue.
I think Scanlan is just public urination, probably.
I don't know what you're talking about. Vex would not be arrested.
Vax would get drunk and snatch every home run ball out of the air and anger every sports fan in Chicago.
Pike?
I feel like Pike would not get arrested.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. That's not true. What am I saying?
That is not.
I know. I don't know why I said that. I was trying to be contrary.
Grand larceny, easily grand larceny.
Probably wrestling with Grog. Maybe going and breaking into Garrett Popcorn and eating all the popcorn.
I think Allura's at the station with Vexalia being like, look,
Yeah.
we'll go ahead and bail them out. We'll see you in a few months. I'm certain we can clear this out.
I do apologize. They're children.
That's it.
Good question.
I don't think so. And with 10 seconds left on the clock, we did it. They can't yell at us. We finished. Thank you all so much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We love you.
Appreciate y'all.
Chicago.
One more time, give it up for the Critical Role Cast.
This is Brandon McInnes, the voice of Finral in Black Clover, and you're watching Fandom Spotlight. Please subscribe, please. If you don't, I'll be sad, okay? Thanks. Bye.